And Bonds hits one high. It's a deep. It is out of here. 7:56. Bonds stands alone.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Taproom Sports Podcast. I am your host, Jordan Stacks Lats. Joined with my guy, Mr. Big Ben Larson, live and direct Sunday evening. What is going on, Ben? How we doing?
Fucking beat, man. Long day of honey-do list, so.
Nice. Welcome to marriage, eh?
Yeah, exactly. But ended the day better than I expected, so.
There we go. That's good. There
Yeah.
we go. We are being brought to you by the Sharps app, SHARPZ. Download it to your mobile device. Use promo code JORD517 to sign up. It's free. Track your bets. Become a better Sharps app. With that being said, obviously Sunday night.
How you doing, by the way?
I'm good. Could be better if the Suns won. I'm mad at myself because I knew the Wolves were the right side. I played the Suns because I was like, it's an elimination game. They're not going to get swept. KD ain't going to go out like that. And
KD went out like that. Yeah.
KD's going out like that. That's how it goes sometimes. But, we move on. New week. We'll be better next week. Had a great MLB week. NHL killed me. NBA was up and down all week. Had some really good plays. Had some really bad ones. It happens. But I'm excited to be here. Excited to recap the week. Excited to talk NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, Major League Baseball. Baseball season's been great so far, so excited for that. Excited for that, Ben. Before we hop into all that though, the draft did happen. What was your thoughts on the draft in general and kind of how your Niners did?
I thought the draft was interesting. I mean, first 14 picks going to offensive players. I mean, it doubles up what previously the previous record of 7 was very surprising. I think you still have that notion of defense wins championships, and that was not the premise this year. I mean, we talked about it in our group chats and pushing that QBs went high.
Yep.
A lot higher than expected. But I mean, it's I think there were a lot of good picks by some teams that fans aren't too happy with. I think there's I mean, thinking about my Niners, it's like I don't think we addressed the hole that we should have addressed first. We did get a corner second round pick, but there were also better ones on the board. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes up with that. But
that's
taking a wide receiver first.
The wide receiver they took was the shock. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't the fact they took a wide receiver. It was the wide receiver they chose. There was a lot of good wide receivers still on the board that were like first round projections. But the one thing about the draft that's always funny to me and and especially like casual fans seeing their reactions and stuff, like Raiders fans, for example, were like, well, why do we need a tight end? We already have a tight end. And it's like, dude, when arguably the second best player in the draft falls to you at 13, you don't worry about position or need. You just take it and then worry about all that shit later. You know what I mean? And so like I loved what the Raiders did. As far as like the defensive players not going until after 14, like there really wasn't a like impactful defensive player that we've had in previous drafts. Like there was no Jalen Carter or Will Anderson in this draft, but there is like a lot of depth in defensive players. And like I thought Quinion Mitchell and Terry and Arnold would go a lot higher than they did, but I think they both fell in. I mean, the Eagles just continue to fucking somehow, dude. Just the player they need always falls to them. Jalen Carter falls to them last year. Quinion Mitchell falls to them this year. Just insane. But as far as the Niners go, like I was shocked they took Ricky Purcell. I know they wanted a tackle, but there really wasn't a tackle to take in the first round because they had all gone. Like all the good ones had already gone. So, but I was shocked they took Purcell.
Well, that's right. Niners took a tackle in the second round and a corner in the third, right?
Yeah, something like. I mean, they did address their needs just in later drafts, in the later rounds, and the Niners usually draft really well in those mid rounds too. So, yeah, I mean, I thought, obviously we don't know shit until things play out. Everybody's kind of stoked. I thought the Michael Penix draft pick was very fucking strange. Like, you just paid Kirk Cousins $100 million, and not to mention your division sucks. You know what I mean? So you had the opportunity to take like the best player available in Brock Bowers, or you could have taken anybody, dude. You could have taken Dallas Turner and beefed up your defense. And instead they take Michael Penix Jr. because they're going to start the process of when Kirk Cousins doesn't play. And
exactly. Yeah. You're going to, what did they say? Like they're not going to have a high pick in the next 4 years because of Cousins. So they got to take their QB now.
Just didn't make any sense to me, Ben.
No.
I was very confused as to what they did. I also didn't like the Broncos drafting Bo Nix, reaching up for him. I thought he would have fallen to the second round easily. I mean, I thought Penix would have fallen to the second round. I know there's like a lot of rumors that like teams were wanting to trade up for him, but I didn't buy all that shit, dude. Like, I thought for sure those two were gonna fall to the second round, and I was wrong. And JJ McCarthy, I know a lot of scouts are high on him because of his arm talent. He has crazy good arm talent, but like he didn't really show a ton in Michigan. Like I don't know how good he's gonna be as a pro. Mm-hmm. I really thought outside of those top three guys that there wasn't really a quarterback worth taking in the first round, but I don't get paid to make those decisions. Yeah, we had did we have 6 quarterbacks? Yeah, we had 6 quarterbacks taken in the first round, dude. It's pretty remarkable, man. And I mean, that's just today's NFL too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just where the game's at. And yeah, I mean, it was interesting. But like I said, we don't know shit until these things play out. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Suns are eliminated from the playoffs. They get swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Very shocking result, to say the least. They were favored to win this series, by the way. But yeah, NFL draft. Anyways, let's talk some NBA and NHL playoffs. So we had an NHL series finish up today. We had the Caps. They got eliminated in 4 games by the New York Rangers. And then obviously we had the Wolves sweep the Suns. We have the Lakers down 3-1, although it seems we're getting some information that Jamal Murray could be dealing with a aggravated strained calf injury, which would be massive loss for them. Yeah. Similar to the Bucks situation right now. Giannis is out. Dame was out today. Chris Middleton got hurt in the game. Bobby Portis got ejected. And then we got the Heat are down 2-1 to the Celtics. The Knicks took a 3-1 lead against the Sixers, which I thought was very shocking. Sixers had control of that game today and then just kind of fell apart in the second half. What's your thoughts on any of these series, including the NHL, Ben?
I mean, where do we want to start? Do we want to start basketball? Do we want to start?
I mean, we could do basketball first. Like, what's a surprising series to you so far?
I mean, obviously the Suns getting swept, I think, is an absolutely huge shock to me.
Yep.
I'm just baffled by that. They tried to build this super team and have the offense, don't have the defense, and just are floundering. It's going to be interesting to see if KD stays over this offseason or requests a trade. We know he likes to. I mean, I doubt it, but we know he likes to. Cast that net, try to find the next super team to be on. So,
I think the Suns they have to consider some things because they mortgage like the next 7 years of their franchise for this right here, and they got swept in the first round, dude.
Yeah,
it's just unacceptable. And I think two things. I think the way that they're constructed just isn't feasible in today's game. Like, you have to have depth in today's game. You can't just have 3 stars and expect to win, dude. It's just it's not gonna happen. And because I mean, we saw it last year too, and they didn't even have it. They just had Book and KD, and like last year, they battled with Denver, but they just couldn't hang. They just didn't have the depth, and they just tired out at the end. And we kind of seen the same thing here too. I mean, you can't expect to win ball games with Okogie and Eric Gordon and Yusuf Nurkic. It's just not a feasible roster. So I don't know what the fuck they do next year. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they even look at trading Booker, because that's probably the most valuable piece they have. Beal is going to be very difficult to trade. He also has a no trade clause, so he can kind of dictate where he goes.
Okay.
So, I mean, I would entertain trading KD too, but he's 36 years old. And
he's got a long contract, right?
I think he only has like 2 years left, but
okay.
Regardless, at 36, teams aren't going to be lining up to fucking give you a massive haul for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what they do.
Yeah, and then the other is the Oklahoma's being up 3-0.
Yeah,
I know that's a big piece in with Zion being out, but like you said, they're a bunch of young guys, who are trying to put things together, and they're doing well right now. But I think the semifinals, conference semifinals, are going to be the real wake up call for them when they go up against the Clippers and the Mavericks. Either one.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot tougher of a series than they're seeing with the Pelicans, the Zion-less Pelicans right now. So
yeah, I'm shocked with the Pelicans too. I thought the Pelicans would have enough to like make it an interesting series, not necessarily win, but you still got Brandon Ingram, you still got CJ McCollum, you still got Trey Murphy, you got Herb Jones. Like, you have a decent roster, you know what I mean? But man, when CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram aren't playing well, and you don't have Zion, it's just it's curtains, dude. And Brandon Ingram was getting really frustrated with how Lou Dort is guarding him, and he's not playing well, and he's kind of like, it almost looks like he's like giving up.
Yeah.
And that's it's unfortunate, and because I feel like if Zion was playing this series, I feel like it would be a totally different result, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you look at games 2 and 3, and they were just destruction. 124-92, 106-85.
Yep.
Those were not even close games.
Nope.
So game 1 definitely was 94-92, but Oklahoma made the adjustments. New Orleans didn't.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, New Orleans they're just not knocking out shots, dude. That's the end of this. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
And I think Oklahoma City first game, like, they were a little tentative. They looked like a team would first playoff experience, and then they really adjusted after that. Like, you could just tell, like, they're more confident, have their swagger back. And I think that series is over. I think it ends tomorrow night. I think the Thunder pack them up. Most curious series to me now is Lakers-Denver, because if Jamal Murray's really hurt, that's a huge issue.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lakers have really, I mean, they've dominated that series outside of like 18 minutes.
Both third quarters of the first 2 games, yeah.
And aside from that, I mean, they should really be up 3-1 in this series, probably. Or at least 2-2.
Yeah.
So if Jamal Murray's hurt, this could very well be a 7-game series. This could be a series, dude. This could definitely be a series. I think Boston and Miami's over in 5. I unfortunately think the Pacers win this series in 5 because, you know, the Bucks are just they're too hurt, dude. They don't have anybody at this point. So yeah, man, I'm with you, dude. I'm interested for the next round. The Sixers is the biggest surprise to me, Ben, because like I think they're the better team in their series. They have the better player, the best player in the series in Embiid. But it's like today, Embiid had 1 field goal attempt in the fourth quarter, bro. 1. Bro, you're supposed to be one of the best players in the world, dude. It's every year with this fucking guy. Every year this dude just no shows in the playoffs, and he gets every excuse. Well, he's hurt. Blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck, dude. He's out there. It's every year with this fucking guy.
What is it now? That he... I mean, I know it's...
Well, he's been dealing with Bell's palsy, but
yeah.
But he also has like a knee issue. But I mean, it's like every year with this guy, dude. It's something. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah.
And at some point, like you just gotta hold the player accountable. Like you're too good, and you guys had a lead in the first half and third quarter today, and you gave up 47 points to a 5'11" guard, dude. And you lost the game. Like it's unacceptable, man.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable.
He comes out and says that it's disappointing that the Knicks fans flooded Philadelphia.
Then don't let them do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Then do something so your players or your fans come out there.
Yep. All right. What's your biggest surprise of the NHL postseason thus far?
Of the NHL postseason, not surprised Boston's up 3-1. Not surprised the Rangers swept. Maybe Florida being up 3-1. I mean it's not too surprising because Tampa Bay was a wild card team, but Tampa Bay has so much experience and depth that surprises me a little bit there. I'm not surprised Vegas is up on Dallas because they fucking manipulate the system.
I mean, the crazy thing about that series, though, Ben, is like Dallas has looked like the better team a majority of that series.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Logan Thompson?
Yeah, Logan Thompson, dude.
Yeah, he's standing on his head.
It's just unreal, bro. They could throw me back there and I'd turn into Patrick Waugh.
Yeah. It's fucking nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Yeah, I think Dallas is the better team in that series. And you know, it's hard to see because where would Vegas have been if Mark Stone played the whole second half of the year? Probably not in wild card 2 position.
Yeah.
You know, it would probably be.
But I don't think they're as good as
Dallas,
last year though, Ben.
No. Well, last year Aiden Hill stood on his head.
Yeah.
This year it's Logan Thompson. So,
dude, it like hurts my soul seeing Tomas Hertl in a fucking Knights jersey, dude.
Yep. Oh, I agree.
Pains me, dude. But nonetheless, like I think the Stars are the better team in that series. Like that's gonna be a 7-game series, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I think it's a 7.
That series going longer. The Winnipeg series, the Avs are gonna finish that one up. I feel bad because like Winnipeg had a really good season, dude, and then they got face at Colorado.
Winnipeg had a great season, and they came out and played a hell of a game 1.
Yeah.
Defensively, you know, not great, but to put up 7 goals on Colorado, I think it woke Colorado up, which is the problem.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if that series is over on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think that series is over. I think the Boston-Toronto series is pretty much over.
Yeah.
Shit, even the Florida series looks about over.
Florida series is probably going to be over. I don't think Tampa Bay takes another game there.
Did Carolina win that series yet? Is it over?
No, it's 3-1.
3-1, yeah. That series is going to be over.
I think Vancouver over Nashville. I think that'll be a 4-1.
Oh, dude, Nashville, don't even get me started on them, bro. 2 games they've fucking blown in the third period. And today they blew it in the final 6 seconds, dude.
Yeah.
That's a huge backbreaker, bro. They're done. They're toast. Who do you think who would be your favorite to win the Stanley Cup right now?
I love that we don't get to see Boston and New York together. That's going to be the Eastern Conference Finals. I think that's going to be a hell of a series there.
Yeah.
And then it's also unfortunate because the way things line up in the West, I think Edmonton takes round 2 and then probably loses it in the Western Conference Final to...
I don't know, man. Edmonton looks good, bro. Like, even their defense looks good, Ben. They look different. I think Edmonton. I think it's gonna be Edmonton and Carolina in the Stanley Cup final.
See, it's 1-0 right now in the Kings game. Kings can come back.
Yeah, for sure. But like, you know, if you were to tell me a game was 1-0 in the third period in Edmonton game, I'd be like, bro, they're losing. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's playoff hockey.
I like Edmonton. I think they're doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. Probably Colorado, Edmonton in the Western Conference Finals. I'll put Colorado versus. Man, I don't know who wins that Boston New York series.
New York won the President's Cup, so they're not going to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, but they can get there.
My only thing is, like, dude, Washington gave them, like, no fucking challenge, dude.
Oh, yeah, no. Washington is nothing.
I would have rather seen Detroit in there than Washington.
Yeah. I think Boston's more... Boston's grittier. So I think we'll put Boston versus Colorado in the finals.
That'd be a good one, too. That'd be a good Stanley Cup final. All right, let's talk some Major League Baseball, Ben. So you had a great idea of giving our 3 surprises of good and bad thus far in the season. Surprises that we think are going to be legit. Surprises that we think are not going to be legit. That we thought were legit. So let's do our legit surprises first. Who do you have?
Okay, so surprises first.
Legit surprise, though.
Legit surprise.
Not legit.
Yeah. So first legit surprise is going to be the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs are playing really well. I think the problem with the Cubs is going to be pitching down the line, but I think they can address that. They've gotten some big series wins, but they've also gotten some lucky series wins coming up from who they're playing. They've obviously played the Marlins. They played the Astros. I guess Marlins they split, but the Astros they swept. Big win against the Dodgers at the beginning of the series, beginning of the season. And they've got wins against Colorado, Seattle, and then they have the Mets this week. And I think that's going to be a telltale sign of where they really are. But from what I've seen of Chicago, they are playing very well offensively and defensively. They're putting up runs and, are a half game back of Milwaukee in the Central. So they're going to be my first surprise.
Okay.
My second surprise is the Washington Nationals at 13-14, playing 500 baseball, and they're beating some really good teams.
Yes, they are.
They beat the Giants in the season series so far.
They took 2 out of 3 in LA.
Took 2 out of 3 in LA, but then also lost.
Yeah,
all 3 against the Dodgers. but they're winning games that they should. Did
they lose all three, or I thought they won the first one? Did they lose?
No,
they lost
they
it.
lost all three in
at home.
At home, yeah, to LA 4-1, 11-2, and 2-1. So, we had the over. I think it was 66.5.
Yep.
Which is
it's looking good,
looking beautiful right now. Having them, playing 500 ball is great for the Nationals. They're a year or two away from being legit contenders, I think, in that division. It's going to be tough because you have Atlanta and Philly, but adding the Nationals into the mix isn't too big of a pipe dream there. So
agreed.
They're a big surprise there. And then moving over to the AL, I hate to say it. Well, I think there's two. The New York Yankees. Surprised that they've won twice as many games as they've lost. They're playing really good on the road. I don't know how sustainable this is, but they've also been winning games when Aaron Judge has not been playing well.
It's true.
And that has been a big surprise. The addition of Soto is monstrous there. Their pitching has been pitching well right now. I don't know how long that actually sustains.
Yeah.
Especially not having Cole there is that's going to hurt them long term. So
agreed.
Who knows how long Rodon stays healthy and continues to pitch well. Another huge question mark there. But I'm surprised that the Yankees are where they are. That division is tough.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I wouldn't really put them as a surprise because, they were the favorite to win the division.
Yeah, but they weren't my favorite to win the division.
Yeah, I agree. And I still don't think they're going to win the division. I think there's major regression coming for the Yankees. And we've kind of seen it at points, right? Like, the A's played very well against them.
Mm-hmm.
The Blue Jays did as well. Like, we've seen when they face, dude, they played a 3-game series against the Brewers, and they missed the good starters from the Brewers, dude. They got and 2 of the starters on the Brewers are spot starters that normally wouldn't be starting, but they have injuries so they had to start. You know what I mean? And I don't want to take anything away from the Yankees, but I do think that a lot of their schedule is a lot of fucking luck so far.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's very sustainable in the long run. I'm gonna put the A's as a surprise.
Yep.
I don't necessarily think they're legit, but I think they're a lot better than anybody thought they were going to be. And they pitch extremely fucking well, dude. Last year they had the worst bullpen ERA. They had a 6 bullpen ERA. And this year, Ben, they're top 3, I think, right, as of today. Wow. Top 7. They're top 7, 2.86 bullpen ERA right now.
Wow.
And they have the best closer in baseball. So if they can get to the 9th inning with a lead, it's basically over, dude. Yeah. Which is huge.
That's been the difficult part.
Yeah.
They've been losing games big, but
you got to get there.
They got to get there, yeah.
But I do think that they're better than we anticipated. I think obviously scoring runs is very difficult, but I am impressed with what they've been doing. I put the Cubs too, and I do agree with you in the sense that I don't know how sustainable it is. Mm-hmm. They're 17th in starter ERA. They're 20th in bullpen ERA, and we're kind of seeing their offense regress a little now. Mm-hmm. They just lost 2 out of 3 to Boston, and they lost one of the games fucking 17-0. You know what I mean? So,
Boston's playing well too. They could be on that list.
Yes, Boston is playing well, but again, I don't think their bullpen. I don't think their starters are as sustainable as their pitching right now. They have the number 1 starter ERA 2.11. They got guys like Cutter Crawford and Tanner Houck who are just fucking pitching out of their fucking minds, dude. And we saw Cutter Crawford have some regression in his last start. So
yeah,
I don't know I don't know how sustainable that is. And then I put the Nats as well, and I also put the Royals down there. Mm-hmm. But Alec Marsh just got hurt, and pitching was my issue with them to begin with. I also think the back end of their lineup is just fucking terrible. So, and they just lost 2 out of 3 to the Detroit Tigers. So I am a little concerned with the Royals. What's your teams that your biggest surprises that we thought were going to be good that aren't going to be good, that you think are not going to be good?
The first I'm going to go with is the Pittsburgh Pirates. Still 14-15, so just below 500 ball.
They can't hit.
But yeah, they can't hit. They're very Jekyll and Hyde. And I think adding Skeens is definitely going to be a big boost for them. He's pitching incredibly well in the minors right now, but I would still give him a little bit more time before pulling him up. Build that confidence up even more. So if he does get shelled, it's not, he doesn't lose everything. And that's something that, it's that was a worry with Jackson Holiday. Seeing what did he have, like a 56 batting average?
63.
Yeah. Did they pull him up a little bit too early? Yeah.
Well, we're gonna talk about Jackson Holiday, don't?
Okay. So but that's what I worry about with Skeens. So give it a little bit more time. You're only 4 games back from the top of the Central. You've got regression coming from the Cubs. That's going to help out. Milwaukee is playing well, but I don't think they're going to sustain that. So you're still in the mix there. So don't bring him up too early there. Houston is,
that's definitely got to be the biggest surprise.
Yeah. Just been absolutely atrocious offensively and defensively. Run differential of 77, minus 77 right now. They've only scored 77 runs.
No, they scored 122.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at sorry. I was looking at the White Sox. They're at minus 77. Sorry. Yeah. Houston minus 22.
Yeah, still bad.
Wrong bottom of the barrel. But yeah. Sorry. So 122 runs scored, minus 144 runs allowed. Just as they're not good at home, which is a surprise, and they're not good on the road. 3-7 in their last 10. Yeah, that's a shock.
Yeah, they're trash.
Yeah, and then I'd also put St. Louis down there.
They really can't hit.
Yeah. We knew that they weren't going to be great, and again, this division is just so mediocre that they're 13-15. So they're only 4.5 games back from
this division might be better than the NL West, though. If we're keeping it a buck.
This division is not better than the NL West.
I don't know, dude. The Reds are really good.
The Rockies are bad.
Well, yeah, the Rockies are bad, but I mean, like, the all bullshit aside, dude, the Cardinals and Pirates both pitch very well. They just can't hit. That's their biggest problem. But the Pirates are 14-15, and the Cardinals are 13-15. Like, they're hanging around, and they haven't been able to hit. The Reds are like Jekyll and Hyde hitting, and they actually have a pretty decent rotation, and the back end of their bullpen is good. The Cubs, I think we already discussed that, and then the Brewers, I think they just they got off to a really hot start offensively. I think they're going to kind of cool off, and then they just got too many injuries in their rotation. I think that's going to be a problem. But the NL West, dude, I mean, talk about a team that's surprising, Ben. That sucks. The Padres fucking suck.
The Padres are not good. Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they're 14-17. Like, that team.
Only -3 run differentials.
Yeah, that team is not good.
Yeah.
And the Diamondbacks, they haven't been good, but I'll give them a little asterisk because they've had a ton of fucking injuries.
Mm-hmm.
They're battling, especially to their like bullpen, and now we don't know what's going on with Gallen. He's got like a hamstring issue. That could be huge. Merrill Kelly's missed his last 2 starts.
Something's up with Corbin Carroll too.
Corbin Carroll, yeah, he has not been good since he had that shoulder injury last year. Remember, Ben?
Okay, yeah,
Since then he hasn't been good. The Giants can't fucking hit for shit. That team is allergic to hitting.
Yeah, Giants are one of those teams though that I think once Snell, well, who knows when Snell's going to be back. I mean, he's got an abductor, so it's not going to be horrible. But I think once Snell, who was probably dealing with that in his first 2 starts,
Probably.
which is why he pitched horrendously.
Yeah.
But once he gets healthy and you've got Webb, Snell, Harrison, Hicks has been pitching well.
Harrison hasn't been that good either.
He's been decent.
He's been all right.
He's been decent.
Hicks has been really good.
Yeah, I mean, Harrison is a good number 4. That's what we're asking him to be right now.
Yeah.
So, if Harrison's my number 4, I'm happy. Yes, we need hitting. We've always needed hitting, and we have bats. They're just not showing up, and eventually, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So, I'm not too worried about later in the year.
Solaires had like
Rockies are atrocious, and the Padres are not good.
Yeah, the Padres are definitely. I thought they were going to be a lot better than they are, which sucks because I think they're like Tatis and I like Hassan Kim a lot, but like Bogarts, he got paid and like he just has never been the same as the Bogarts that was in Boston since he's gotten to San Diego. Cronenworth is like very up and down. Jackson Merrill's like, he's young.
He's good.
He's good.
I'm excited to see him grow up.
But man, that team just leaves so much to be desired, dude.
Yep. Yu Darvish just look good.
He's hurt.
Oh, he's hurt now?
Yeah.
Elbow?
Nah, he's on the 15-day IL. I don't know when he's gonna come back. But yeah, it has not been good for pitchers. I would also add to the not legit the Rays, dude. They just got swept by the fucking White Sox.
Jesus.
They're not hitting like they were last year at all.
No, they're not hitting like they were last year, and they're not pitching like they were last year too. Because
we knew their pitching was going to take a step back. We knew their pitching was going to take a step back, but I didn't think they were going to be this bad offensively. And then on the flip side, like I still thought their bullpen would be good, and their bullpen has not been good at all, dude. Their bullpen's been atrocious. Mm-hmm. So that has been them and the Astros, probably in my opinion, are like the 2 biggest surprises to me where I was like, damn, I got a really bad read on those teams in the offseason. Obviously, it's still early. The Astros can turn it around. They have a lot of guys that have been there and done it. But, jeez, dude, I just don't see it.
They're digging themselves a hole.
Yeah, Bregman hasn't been very good. I mean, a lot of those guys have just been very underwhelming to what they normally perform at.
I mean, that's probably the division that I'm least impressed with.
The AL West?
The AL West.
Yeah.
I mean, Seattle and Texas top 2, only a half game, separating them. But both of them have been just meh.
I mean, Seattle's like, they've gotten hot.
Yeah.
They started off so bad.
Yeah.
And now they're like turning it on. I knew Texas was going to take a little step back. I thought they had a lot of guys that like overperformed last year. Nathaniel Lowe, even Adolis Garcia like had a career year last year. They just had like a lot of guys like all have career years. Mm-hmm. And then you already lost Josh Young for the season, which is a huge fucking loss. And then like Jonah Heim, obviously he had a good career year last year. Like I didn't think he was gonna perform to how he did. Dave Dunning pitching, like that dude's a jag, and He was really good last year. John Gray, another one. He was a fucking jag, and then had a really good year last year. So I'm not entirely shocked that Texas is kind of taking a step back. I'm actually pretty surprised how they've been able to maintain success without being really good at anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not great at one thing. They're just, like, okay at things. Like, they've been an average offensive team. They've been an average pitching team. And, I mean, I guess their record kind of says that they're basically 500, but that's been the biggest shock to me for them.
Yeah. Well, they haven't played the hardest schedule.
No, they haven't.
They've played 7 against the Astros, and actually 8 against the Astros, and they're actually 4-4. No, I lied. 7 against the Astros. They are 3-4 against the Astros. They're 1-2 against the A's.
Yeah.
They won 2-1 against Tampa Bay. Won the series against Detroit. That's surprising.
Yep.
Won the series against Cincinnati. And then lost 2-1 against the Braves and the Mariners.
Yep. Who do they play? Washington next.
Yep.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, we got a lot of good series coming up this week. We got Seattle against Atlanta. That's going to be really good. Yankees against Baltimore. That's going to be a really good series. We got Kansas City at Toronto. What else do we have? Twins at Chicago. White Sox. That's going to be a barn burner. Twins are actually really hot, man. 7 wins in a row, dude. They're getting healthy.
Who did the Twins just play for their 7 in a row, though?
Angels and White Sox, baby.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
But, like, on top of them playing those two, they're getting healthy. Like, Kepler came back into the lineup. And, you know, Max Kepler is a huge part of that lineup. So, they've just been battling through a lot of injuries. And they started off the season really bad. Like, really bad offensively. But, I mean, dude, they put up a gazillion runs against the Angels. The Angels' bullpen is very terrible, by the way.
Yeah.
That might be one of the worst bullpens in baseball. Them and the Marlins.
Minnesota's going to go on a 10-game win streak, so it's at least good.
Yeah, they get the White Sox. Well, I mean, the White Sox coming in hot, man. 3 in a row.
That's true. That's very true.
3 in a row. They called up Tommy Pham, and they're 3-0 since calling up Tommy Pham, dude.
Difference maker right there.
Yeah, we got Dodgers at Arizona this week, too.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a good series. Dodgers are going to dodge all the good Diamondbacks pitchers, though.
Yep.
Good for them. And then we got Giants that are traveling to Boston, Ben.
Yep. It's going to be an interesting series.
I'm
a little worried about that one. Boston's hot right now. They're a team that we'll see some negative regression from, but
yeah, they definitely have some negative regression coming for sure.
They're hot, and we do have Logan Webb's going on Tuesday.
Who's he facing?
Cooper Criswell.
Yeah, that should be a dub.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be It's gonna be a good week, man. Gonna be a good week.
Mets versus Cubs.
It's gonna be a good series. A's versus Pirates. A's traveling back home.
God, Philly versus LA. I'm taking the run line on every single game.
Yeah, I love the over in tomorrow's game. It's actually one of my best bets, which we'll get to.
Sanchez versus Canning?
Yeah. Because the Angels, they hit lefties really well. Okay. It's like the one thing they do. All right, so let's talk about Jackson Holiday. So Jackson Holiday gets called up, right? Number 1 prospect in all of baseball. And he struggles at the major league level. Has 2 hits. Bats 63, 0.63. And on Friday, the Orioles sent him down. On Thursday, they sent him down. And they call up Ryan McKenna in his place. what's your thoughts on the Jackson Holiday saga?
He sucks. He's trash. Get rid of him now. Trade him. He's fucking garbage. He's never gonna fucking be a major leaguer. It was all overhyped.
I'm gonna cut that little piece and post it online.
He's gonna be fucking fine. It doesn't happens all the time.
Yeah.
He's gonna go back down. He's gonna rake. He's gonna get another shot, and he'll come back up. And he might not be great, this next time around, but he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be a great prospect. He's fucking young.
Yeah, he's only 20.
Yeah, he needs time to develop. He's got time. He'll be fine.
So this is my issue with it. Like, I'm all for him staying in the big leagues and working through and battling, as long as he's getting at bats consistently, right?
Yeah,
and he was. And on top of it, like, his dad played Major League Baseball. Like, his dad, he can go to his dad and be like, because this is part of baseball, man. Baseball is always a game of adjustments. You have to adjust to pitchers. Pitchers are going to adjust to you, and then you have to adjust again. You have to consistently keep adjusting. I think two things. I think first of all, he had a lot of pressure coming up because of being the number one prospect. But for the Orioles to send him down, okay, I get it. Send him down, let him work through it in AAA. But why the fuck are you calling up fucking Ryan McKenna, dude? Why not call up Kobe Mayo? Like, why are you trotting out Urias and Mateo every day to do the same fucking thing that Jackson Holiday was doing?
Yeah.
Especially Urias.
At least give him some time to...
I'd rather see Jackson Holiday struggle in the 9-hole than fucking Julio Urias.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know who Urias is, and Urias he's not gonna be on this team after this year.
Yeah.
So why, if you're gonna call Jackson Holiday down, call up Kobe Mayo, who's going to be part of the future of this ball club, who's raking in AAA. And the only reason why I think they didn't do it is because they probably had a fear that, okay, if we call up Kobe Mayo and he starts raking, at some point Jackson Holiday is getting called up again. And then we, being the Orioles front office, we have to make a decision about Ryan O'Hearn or Ryan Mountcastle. One of them would have to go. Because eventually your long-term Orioles infield is going to be Westberg, Gunnar Henderson, Jackson Holiday, Kobe Mayo. So if Kobe comes up and he rakes, and then you call up Jackson Holiday, let's say in June, now you have to make a decision on Ryan Mountcastle and Ryan O'Hearn. One of them has to go.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
But also, the Orioles call up Heston Kjerstad, Ben. They call him up like last week. Dude started one game since they called him up. What's the point of calling him up if he's only going to start one game?
If he's sitting on the bench, yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense to me, dude. And like, the Orioles dropped 2 out of 3 to Oakland this weekend, and Cookie Craig blew 2 saves. So they should have probably gone 3-0, but Cookie Craig blew 2 saves.
Didn't he just get sent to the IR?
Cookie Craig?
Yeah.
I mean, he should, dude. That full fucking... He was terrible.
Exit with a tight back.
That shit is just... Ben, they lost 2 fucking games because Cookie Craig blew saves, dude. And you just can't have that.
Yeah.
Cannot have that. So the Orioles, they got some shit they gotta figure out, man. I know Tyler Wells is coming back. They're probably gonna move him to the bullpen. Kyle Bradish is coming back. He made a couple rehab starts. He's gonna be back in the rotation. But the Orioles, they gotta. This team's too good, dude. And they got a lot going on, man. They got a lot going on with the young guys, and I think they gotta figure it out, dude. They really do, and I know they want Mullins and Mountcastle in there as veterans, but at some point, man, you got to let these kids play, bro. You got to let these kids do their thing, and can't be calling up Heston Kjerstad and not playing him, dude. It just doesn't make any fucking sense, dude.
Yep.
And then you you fucking send down Jackson Holiday for Ryan fucking McKenna, dude. And who makes the wrong defensive play to blow the game on Friday? Ryan fucking McKenna, dude. Not happy with it.
How many games was Jackson up?
I think like 10. I mean, he only had like 33 at bats.
Let's see.
Or 39 at bats or something like that. Actually, I don't even think he had 33 at bats.
10 games, 34 at bats.
34, yeah. He went 2 out of 34.
Yep. 5 runs.
Yeah, because when he gets on base, he's a fucking speedster. I think he was just pressing too much, dude. And I think he was trying to guess pitches rather than like reacting to pitches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like he struck out a lot looking, and usually when you strike out looking, it's because you're completely looking for a different pitch than the pitch you get.
Yeah.
Instead of like sitting and reacting to it. You know what I mean? And fighting to stay alive.
Heston has seen 5 at bats.
Yeah, dude. He's been up for a week, bro.
Yep.
He started one game in that span.
He's played in 2. Yeah, he started 1.
Yeah, and then they fucking pinch hit him in the 9th inning against Mason Miller of all fucking people. Hey, go pinch hit against this dude throwing 103.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, sure.
Welcome to the bigs, asshole.
Like, I was talking to someone on Friday night, and I was like, Mason Miller, he was a starter, and then he had that elbow injury last year, and to preserve his arm, the A's moved into the bullpen, and I was like, he's got closer stuff because, when you see a guy one time, Ben, pitching 103, you can't adjust to it. But when you see him 2-3 times in a lineup, you can adjust, therefore, after. So that's why the dude's like unhittable. Because it's just like Felix Bautista. Like Felix gasses 101 and he throws like a 100 mile an hour splitter.
Yeah.
Like you can't, in one inning, dude, you can't like react in one at bat to that kind of shit, dude. You just can't. It's like damn near impossible. You just really have to hope they make a fucking mistake and you capitalize on it.
Mm-hmm.
And to put Kjerstad in that position, like talk about something that like mentally fucking breaks a kid.
Yeah.
Dude just reared back and threw 103 at him. Okay, here you go, hit it. You know?
Yeah. You've never seen anything close to this. Go for it.
And he threw like 2 of them right down the middle too. Here it is, hit it. If you can hit it, so it's all good.
I dare you.
It's like fuck, dude. Why the fuck would you do that to a kid, bro? It's fucking terrible. Anyways, Mason Miller, best closer in baseball. It's awesome, and he's not going to get traded because he's has like 6 years of club control.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's like you'd have to trade like a package for him, dude. It'd have to be insane. And I don't know why anyone would do that for a closer. And any other thoughts from last week on the Major League Baseball slate, Ben?
Atlanta doesn't seem like they're clicking all the way, but damn, they find a way to win.
Yes, they do.
8-2 over their last 10, but nothing has looked like the Atlanta Braves of the last 2 years. But they're plus 47 baseball. 8-2 in the last 10. It's just they're fucking good. Pitching down the long run is going to be tough, but yeah, I'm waiting for Cleveland to regress. It's going to happen.
Eventually, they got to talk about a team that has a lot of injuries with pitching. Somehow they figure it out, dude. It's insane.
Yeah, and I'm surprised LA hasn't run away with it as much as they have. I mean, I know they're 3.5 games up on San Francisco, but
Yeah, they've had a good week. They got hot. But man, aside from that, the top 4 in that lineup, dude, the rest of that lineup is just not that good.
Yeah. Other than that, that's baseball's baseballing right now.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like that a lot of these, I know it's early, but I like that a lot of the divisions are like pretty tight, dude. Like
there's at least a team that's close.
Yeah, we could have a really, really fun summer.
Yep.
Coming down. I think there's like the AL Central is going to be really going to be a battle. The NL East is at least going to be a battle between the Phillies and the Braves. The Central is going to be a fucking good division. The NL Central, that is. The AL East, obviously, between the Yankees and Orioles, and then the AL West between the Mariners and Rangers.
Yeah.
And hopefully the A's make a run for the division, because I have a bet on them at plus 25,000 to win the AL West. So
not dead.
It's not dead at all. So it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a good summer, Ben. I'm excited for this baseball season.
Yep.
Excited. Next week we'll start doing, after a month of the season, we'll start doing our top 5 teams. We'll do a top 10 once a month. How about that?
Okay.
So we'll do our first top 10 next week. And then a month after, we'll do our second top 10. So every month we'll do a top 10 to get... Oh, wait. Because every week is too much changes, you know what I mean? Like, we'll do a month. That'll be good. All right, let's get some best bets for
Here we
tonight.
go.
All right, so we are gonna go with some hockey, as we were talking about. I think we see the end of the series tomorrow for Florida, and money line's not gonna be great, but with hockey, especially in the playoffs, you've got that empty netter just sitting there. So, and since this is the end of the series, you're gonna have you're gonna have a team pull their goalie if they're down by 2, and you're gonna get 3 minutes of empty net. Even if you're down by 2, you score 1, they can score another one there and keep it at 2. So you can take Florida puck line, sitting at plus 140 right now, so you get some good value there. I think this series is done tomorrow, so I'm gonna go there. Baseball, I don't see anything that's really standing out to me. I'd probably go Phillies run line. Angels are just absolutely trash, and like you mentioned, get to their bullpen early. It's going to be an absolute blowout. Phillies have the bats to do it, so I think you can take. I think you can take Phillies run line and get good value there. It's sitting at plus 115.
Like it. Angels bullpen fucking sucks dick too.
Yeah.
I got 3 best bets for tomorrow. First one, I have St. Louis and Detroit under 8.5 runs. Neither team very good offensively. The Tigers are like 23rd WRC plus against left-handed pitching. The Cardinals are one of the worst offensive teams. They've scored only 100 runs all year, which is worse than the fucking Pirates, which is worse than the fucking Marlins. That's how bad offensively they are. So I like the under in that game. I know Ken Maeda, he hasn't been very good, but his last start he was really good against the Rays, and I expect him to continue that. Steven Matt's coming off a bad start, but again, Tigers don't hit lefties well, so I like the under in that game. And then I like the over 8.5 in the Angels and Philly game. The Angels hit lefties well. Christopher Rodriguez, he's had a very good year. And then Griffin Cannon on the other side, he's a turkey tosser. So I definitely expect this game to fly over. I would get 8.5 now because it's definitely going to be 9.5 tomorrow. And then I like Oklahoma City minus 4.5 NBA tomorrow. I think they close out the series. I think this one's over. I think the Pelicans are ready for Cancun. So I like that one.
I'm going to Cancun in a week.
You might see him, dude.
They're there. Yeah.
You might see him out there. It's a good possibility. I also kind of like the Stars money line tomorrow. I think they even up the series, but taking a team to win twice on the road is a little. I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I'd like it. I don't know if I'd bet it.
Yeah, but that's how it goes. If you missed any of the show, make sure to find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast fix. You can catch it all if you missed any part of the stream. We will be back Tuesday night around 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. We'll be breaking down Major League Baseball slate for Wednesday, talking a handful of games, getting some best bets like we always do. So definitely tune in for that. You can follow the podcast on Instagram at Taproom Sports Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Taproom_sports. You can follow myself on Twitter at Jordan Rules TSP. We'll be back on Tuesday night. Y'all have a blessed Monday. Have a great start to the week. We'll see y'all later. Peace.
Later.